right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the Central Motor Speedway in Cromwell, New Zealand, the second night of the weekend in the Saturday show. I'm about probably in the best view of the house, I think. There's not grandstands at this racetrack, remember. It's kind of old school, but I'm up on the tower where they do the live stream, and look at this view of the facility. As you can tell, they got a lot of water on it. Yesterday, unfortunately, got canceled due to a dust issue in the A main event. We only ran 3 laps, and so I know they're really trying hard to, the racetrack itself was racy. It just, had a dust issue where visibility was poor, and so unfortunately after a crash we just had to end the night. But yeah, from this view you really can see what I'm talking about with the shape of this racetrack. 3 and 4, again, a fairly basic corner, but 1 and 2, there's not a lot of tracks I've been to that are like it in sprint car racing in the entire world, and I can say that because I usually race in the States and we're here in New Zealand. But we got over 30 cars in the pit area, a lot of really good drivers, again some of the best from the North and South Island, and we're getting ready to roll this evening. It's a brand new show, so we're starting from nothing. We're going to basically do engine heat, and we're going to roll right into the unique NZ2 heat format where we don't hot lap, we just go, we draw. Where we draw is where we start in heat 1, and it's an invert for heat 2, and you add up the points from there. All right, guys. It's raining again. And it's not like a downpour, but I wouldn't say it's sprinkling. These guys, everyone's saying, let's start rushing to get out on the track. They want to go racing, so we're about to see what happens. We're not the first heat race. There's no hot laps tonight. We're rolling right into heat races based on yesterday's points run. So we're up front in the first heat, and we start last in the next one. Normal New Zealand format, but it's just crazy because it's raining, and they're trying to start pushing the show. I don't know what Mother Nature's gonna do, but I just know this is gonna get interesting. I don't necessarily, if I had my own car, I would not want to be going out on track right now. I'd much rather be in the pit. So wanted to update you guys because this is very unique. Like I said, it is raining, and I think they're gonna try to get cars on track. We're about to see. Well, the track's a lot closer now. Luckily, they didn't send a screen, but we just spent quite a bit of time out there, burned some ethanol, getting it close. So, yeah, I think we're gonna race today. I think we're gonna be all right. Looks like the weather's clearing up. We just need some patience and let's actually get the track ready so it's right, and then we can put on a good show. I pulled the hood off. I pulled the hood off. It didn't sound good.
What do you mean?
I came off a 4 and I was just wide open, and all of a sudden it just it shook for a second, and it wasn't RPMing up. It was felt like something maybe was starting to come apart or whatever. So I just shut it off.
Oh, you turned it off?
I shut it off.
Okay.
Because it didn't sound good. I didn't even get a chance to look. It was just the feel of it started vibrating really bad, and it wasn't accelerating through the RPMs. It was so I mean, whether that or it could be a
was about a corner away from exploding.
Oh, I just shut it off the second I could. Well, I had to make a tough decision there. Was coming to 1 lap to go in the heat race, was running second. Was happy with where we were at. Caleb got a good jump. It's hard here in New Zealand because it's so, the leader sets the pace, and I tried to kind of crawl on the start without getting ahead of him, and basically unless somehow I just magically fire off, I feel like it's hard to, unless you rip around 2, get the lead, but he was able to slide across. We kind of just did what we had to do, and we were gonna run second, and then all of a sudden coming to the white flag as we were passing a lap car, something shook really bad in the car, and I still had some throttle, but it felt like something was coming apart, and I couldn't distinguish if it was the engine or if it was something in the rear end or in the cockpit. There's a few light bulbs that go off in your head, but I didn't even really let it happen long enough to see what was wrong. I obviously try to drive other people's cars like it was my own, and the second that something does not seem right, you just try to shut stuff off because you want to have the most minimal amount of damage, and as a driver, I've been doing this long enough, I know when something isn't right. You still question yourself. I got back in and there was nothing obvious. We fired it back up, and you could see how there was material coming out behind the motor plate or something in there, and it was the U-joint. So I think it was coming apart. Like, it was probably seconds, wasn't far away from disaster. And you know, luckily we have a protective blanket and a good housing, so my ankles, you know, might have been okay, but still, U-joints are scary and they are a pain in the you-know-what to do at the racetrack. This is the worst job. So my team's taking care of it. I'm just getting settled. I got to go back out for, I think, a B, or I don't know. We don't have a lot of time, so just trying to get back in the right state of mind so we can go past cars, and unfortunately we're going to miss our next heat race. So of course with this happening, we missed our second heat race, and luckily we had the dash also before the B main event just to have some extra time. As I mentioned, changing U-joints is not fun at all, and it's just so difficult to get to it when you have the engine in the car and you have the rear end, and you just got to take everything apart. But hats off to the BMAC Racing team. They did get it all fixed up, got the car back together, and we rolled out for the B main event, which ended up being one of the sketchiest B main events I have ever competed in. I started 11th, and it was raining off and on as we were kind of like rolling on the track, and then throughout the race it almost got worse. At one point, like, we were maybe quarter throttle, just rolling around. I was waiting for someone to call the race or something to happen, and like, I couldn't really pass cars because the whole track was wet. I was just trying to be careful and save my stuff. Again, I was not the driver that I needed to be, but realistically none of us should have even been out there. But I got the last transfer spot from 11th to 5th, and I did get the 12i in the show. Rolling off dead last here, guys. You can see it's muddy. That's all I have to say. We just got to focus in, try to do the best we can, hoping the rain stops, and try to put together a charge here, just really trying to be focused. We're going to have a lot of cars in front of us and a lot of guys we need to pick off. Well, guys, I felt like we kind of screwed around there for about 20 laps, and somehow the last 10 laps drove past quite a few cars. Started 20th and finished 5th. Realistically, can't complain about that. Obviously, tonight we kind of had an arm tied behind our back with our U-joint issue and fighting through the B, and I just felt like I was out of sorts because half the night I was racing in the rain. Like, it's just so tough, and to really get going and find your rhythm, and we didn't have as much track time to, I think, get our car right. And then I think in the feature we were good. It just took me a while to get going. I was trying to run the top because a lot of guys weren't up there, and it really just wasn't that great. And then sure enough, hey, thanks. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. You know, I mean, there at the end, I just changed up what I was doing under that red. I just thought about it and was like, you know what, I got to do something different. And I grabbed some wing and started running the bottom, and I passed quite a few cars at the end of the race. Like, I was dang near pushing 3rd and 4th around coming to the checkered. So sucks, we could have been on the podium. And again, that was really going from like 12th or 13th, and you know, that was passing like 8 cars in 10 laps. So really proud of our team. These guys didn't quit fighting. You know, U-joint issues are not fun, and mechanical failures are not fun in the middle of the night. So for us to you know, round out a good top 5 finish, man, like I said, leaves a bad taste in your mouth because I know that our car was good enough at the end to probably race with the guys in front of us. We just ran out of time. But congrats to my friend. I think Caleb won. My teammate was on the podium too, so lots of good stuff here. Just obviously wanted to be out there with those guys and fighting for a win.